I was standing in line at the coffee shop on Maple Street when my phone buzzed with a message from a number I didn't recognize. The attachment loaded slowly, a screenshot of a text conversation. My wife Emily's name sat at the top of the thread, and below it, messages that made my blood run cold. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. Same here. When can we do it again? Thursday while he's at the conference? Perfect. My place this time. Bring that thing you do with your tongue. I stood frozen, holding my phone like it was radioactive. The barista called my name twice before I registered it. My hands shook as I grabbed the cup and walked out, forgetting the cream I'd planned to add. The sender had included a brief message. Thought you should know. I'm sorry. Jenna. Jenna, Emily's coworker. They'd had some falling out last month that Emily refused to discuss. Now I understood why someone might send this to me, though the motivation hardly mattered compared to the content. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, reading and rereading those messages. The timestamp showed they were from yesterday afternoon. I'd been home yesterday. We'd eaten dinner together. Emily had kissed me goodnight and told me she loved me before falling asleep with her head on my shoulder. My conference. The medical device sales conference in Austin. I was supposed to attend next week. She was already planning around my absence. I drove to my office on autopilot, nearly running a red light on Jefferson Avenue. As a financial analyst for Whitmore and Associates, I'd spent 15 years building a career on attention to detail and pattern recognition. Those same skills now turned against me, replaying the last 6 months of my marriage through a different lens. The late nights at work. The new lingerie I'd discovered in her drawer that she'd never worn for me. Her phone always face down on the table. The way she'd started going to the gym at odd hours, coming home showered and refreshed. The sudden interest in couples therapy that she'd suggested 2 months ago, which I now realized was probably guilt, not genuine concern for our marriage. We'd been together for 11 years, married for 8. No kids yet because Emily wanted to focus on her career first. She was an account executive at Riverside Marketing, pulling in decent money, though not quite matching my salary. We had a nice house in Westbrook Heights, 2 cars, a joint savings account that we'd been building toward starting a family. How much of that had been real? I pulled up the screenshot again, zooming in on the contact name. Just a first name, Trevor. No last name, no photo. But Emily had saved it in her phone, which meant this wasn't some random hookup. This was someone she communicated with regularly enough to warrant a contact entry. My office felt suffocating. I closed the door and sat at my desk, staring at the family photo we'd taken in Colorado last summer. Emily's smile looked genuine in that picture. Had she been cheating then too? Or was this recent? The rational part of my brain kicked in. I needed more information. One screenshot from a disgruntled coworker wasn't enough to blow up my marriage, even if every instinct screamed that it was authentic. Emily's writing style was distinctive. She always used proper punctuation and capitalization in texts, never abbreviations. These messages matched that pattern perfectly. I opened my laptop and logged into our cell phone account. We shared a family plan, which meant I had access to the billing records. It took 15 minutes of searching, but I found what I was looking for. A number that appeared repeatedly in Emily's call and text logs over the past 3 months. Hundreds of messages, dozens of calls, many lasting over 30 minutes. The number had a local area code. I ran it through a reverse lookup service and got a name. Trevor Blackwell, age 34, living in an apartment complex about 4 miles from our house. My stomach twisted. This was real. This was happening. I pulled up our credit card statements next, scanning for anything unusual. There, a charge from 2 weeks ago at the Riverside Inn, a boutique hotel downtown. $87 for what the itemized receipt showed as a day rate room. Emily had told me she was at a client meeting that afternoon. More charges appeared as I dug deeper. restaurants I'd never been to, a charge at Victoria's Secret from 3 months ago that definitely hadn't resulted in anything appearing in my bedroom, a recurring monthly charge to something called Discretion Mobile, which a quick search revealed was a private messaging app designed to hide communications. I sat back in my chair, my coffee long forgotten and cold. The evidence was overwhelming. My wife of 8 years was having an affair, had been having one for at least 3 months, possibly longer. She'd lied to me repeatedly, used our shared money to fund her betrayal, and was already planning her next encounter. The old me would have confronted her immediately, demanded answers, probably cried and begged to know why. But something had shifted in the past hour. Maybe it was the calculated nature of her deception. Maybe it was seeing our marriage reduced to crude text messages about Thursday afternoon hookups. Maybe it was the way she'd looked me in the eye last night and lied without hesitation. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. I was going to find out everything first. Document it all. And then I was going to make sure that when this marriage ended, I wouldn't be the one left picking up the pieces. I spend the rest of Monday afternoon at my desk, appearing to work on quarterly projections while actually planning my next moves. The Austin conference starts Thursday morning. Emily thinks I'll be gone for 3 days. That gives her plenty of time with Trevor. Except I'm not going to Austin. At 5:47 p.m., I send an email to my boss, Bill Patterson. Subject line: Family emergency. Need to use PTO for Austin trip. I keep it vague. Personal matter, already coordinated with the team, will be available by phone if anything urgent comes up. Bill responds within 10 minutes with a sympathetic message about taking care of what matters most. The irony isn't lost on me. I drive home, stopping at the grocery store to pick up ingredients for dinner. Emily loves my chicken piccata. I'm going to cook it for her tonight, open a bottle of wine, and be the perfect husband. Because that's what she expects. That's what keeps her comfortable. She arrives home at 6:30, right on schedule. I hear her car in the driveway, the front door opening. "Something smells amazing," she calls out. I look up from the stovetop, offering a smile that feels like it belongs to someone else. "Thought I'd surprise you." She sets her bag down and walks into the kitchen, wrapping her arms around me from behind. I feel her chin rest on my shoulder, her breath warm against my neck. 3 days ago, this gesture would have made me happy. Now it makes my skin crawl. "You're the best," she murmurs. I plate the food, pour the wine. We sit at our dining table, the one we picked out together at that furniture store in Oakmont 2 years ago. And she tells me about her day. A difficult client, a presentation that went well, office politics I'm supposed to care about. I ask questions. I nod. I laugh at the right moments. "How's the Austin prep going?" she asks, twirling pasta on her fork. "Good. Everything's lined up. Flight leaves Thursday at 7 a.m. She reaches across the table, squeezing my hand. "I'm going to miss you." "Just 3 days," I say. "I know. Still." She takes a sip of wine. "Maybe we can plan something fun for when you get back? We haven't been to that Italian place in Riverside in forever." That sounds perfect. We finish dinner. I clear the plates while she scrolls through her phone at the table. I wonder if she's texting him right now, making plans for Thursday night. Probably using that Discretion mobile app, the one that cost me $14.99 a month without my knowledge. Later, we watch television on the couch. Some crime procedural she likes. She curls against me, and I put my arm around her shoulders because that's what I always do. When the show ends, we go upstairs. She kisses me goodnight, tells me she loves me. I say it back. The words taste like ash. Tuesday morning, I'm at my desk by 7:30. I've already made 2 phone calls from my car in the parking garage. The first was to a lawyer named David Brennan, someone a colleague used during his divorce 3 years ago. I have a consultation scheduled for Friday at 2 p.m. The second call was to a private investigator. His name is Raymond Pike. His website is plain, professional, no dramatic taglines about catching cheaters or serving justice. Just facts. 20 years of experience, former police detective, licensed and insured. I'd found him Sunday night during my research spiral. I need surveillance documentation, I told him. My wife is having an affair. Thursday through Saturday while she thinks I'm out of town. You want photos, video, timestamps? Everything. I want a complete record of where she goes, who she meets, how long she stays. That's 3 days of surveillance. It's not cheap. He quoted me a price. I agreed without hesitation. I'll need details, he'd said. Address, vehicle description, photos of both parties if possible, known locations they frequent. I'm emailing him that information now. Photos of Emily from our vacation last summer. Trevor's address from the reverse lookup. Our home address. Emily's car make and model, license plate number. The Riverside Inn, where the credit card records show 2 separate charges. Raymond responds within an hour. Received. I'll begin surveillance Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Updates every 6 hours unless something significant happens. I delete the email thread and empty my trash folder. Wednesday evening, I pack for Austin. Emily watches from the bedroom doorway as I fold shirts, roll socks, zip toiletries into a small bag. You have your presentation printed? She asks. Loaded on my laptop. But yes, backup copies too. She smiles. Always so prepared. I zip the suitcase closed. That's why they pay me. We order Thai food for dinner. She suggests a movie, something light and funny, and we stream it on the couch. Halfway through, her phone buzzes. She glances at the screen, then sets it face down on the cushion beside her. Work? I ask. Just Melissa. I'll text her back later. Melissa is her sister. Or maybe it's Trevor, using a contact name she thinks I won't question. I don't know anymore. I don't know how many lies I'm sitting next to. We go to bed early. I set my alarm for 5 a.m., claiming I want to beat traffic to the airport. She mumbles something sleepy and sympathetic, then rolls over. I lie awake in the dark, listening to her breathe. Thursday morning, my alarm goes off at 5 South. I shower, dress, carry my suitcase downstairs as quietly as possible. Emily appears in the kitchen as I'm making coffee, wearing my old college sweatshirt and pajama pants. I wanted to say goodbye, she says, voice still rough with sleep. You didn't have to get up. I know. She wraps her arms around me, pressing her face against my chest. Be safe. Call me when you land. I will. She kisses me. I taste toothpaste and lies. I carry my suitcase to the car, load it in the trunk. She waves from the front door as I back down the driveway. I wave back. Then I drive to the airport. I really do drive to the airport. I park in long-term parking, take a ticket, find a spot on the 4th level. I leave my car there, suitcase in the trunk. Then I take the shuttle to the terminal, walk inside, and immediately exit through the arrivals area where another shuttle runs to the rental car facility. 20 minutes later, I'm driving away from the airport in a silver Toyota Camry, completely anonymous. I've rented a room at an extended stay hotel 15 minutes from our house. I checked in online last night under my own name. Nobody's looking for me. As far as anyone knows, I'm in Austin. The room is clean, generic. Beige walls, industrial carpet, kitchenette I won't use. I set my laptop on the desk and check my phone. Emily has texted, "Miss you already." I respond, "Just boarded, talk soon." Then I open my email. Raymond Pike has sent his first update, time-stamped 8:47 a.m. Subject left residence at 8:12 a.m. Drove to Riverside Marketing, arrived 8:31 a.m. Currently inside office building. Will maintain position. I lean back in the desk chair, staring at the screen. She's at work. Normal Wednesday morning. But tonight, or tomorrow, or sometime this weekend, She'll drive to Trevor's apartment, or he'll come to our house, or they'll meet at the Riverside Inn again. And Raymond Pike will document every second of it. I think about Emily waving from the front door this morning, the way she kissed me goodbye, the heart emoji in her text message. My phone buzzes. Another email from Raymond. Subject exited building at 12:04 p.m. with female colleague, proceeding to nearby restaurant. Lunch break. Completely normal. I order a sandwich from a delivery app and wait. I'm sitting in the hotel room at the Fairfield on Route 9, watching the morning news without really seeing it, when my phone buzzes. Raymond. She left the house at 8:47, he says. Drove to work, parked in her usual spot. I've got eyes on the building entrance. Good. Stay on her. One more thing. She made a call from the car. Lasted about 3 minutes. Want me to pull the number? I've got access to the records. I'll check it myself. After he hangs up, I open the shared account portal on my laptop. The call log updates in real time, and there it is. 8:51 a.m. Outgoing call to Trevor's number. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. My jaw tightens. She's confirming their plans while I'm supposedly boarding a plane to Austin. I spend the next hour reviewing everything again. The credit card statements, the phone records, the timeline I've constructed. 15 separate hotel charges over 3 months. Always the same place. The Riverside Inn, that boutique hotel downtown where they offer discretionary parking in a covered garage. Smart choice for people who don't want to be seen. The purchases from Victoria's Secret total over $400. I remember her wearing some of those items. The black lace set she claimed was just something to feel good about myself. The red silk nightgown she wore on our anniversary last month, which I thought was a sweet gesture. I was such an idiot. My phone buzzes again at 11:23. Raymond. She just left the office, heading west on Riverside Boulevard. It's early. She doesn't usually take lunch until noon. Well, she's moving now. Want me to follow? Yes. And send me photos of wherever she goes. I wait. The hotel room feels smaller with each passing minute. I've positioned myself by the window where I can see the parking lot, though I'm not sure why. Some instinct to maintain visual control over something. Anything. My phone buzzes with a photo. Emily's car parked outside a nail salon on Westbrook Avenue. The timestamp shows 11:31 a.m., getting ready for tonight. The thought makes my stomach turn. Another photo arrives at 12:15. She's coming out of the salon, and even from Raymond's distance, I can see she's smiling. She looks happy, relaxed. She's wearing the blue dress I complimented last week, the one that fits her perfectly. She's dressing up for him. Raymond sends a text. Back to office, 12:22. The afternoon drags. I try to eat the sandwich I picked up earlier, but it tastes like cardboard. I manage half of it before giving up. At 3:47, my phone rings. Raymond again. She left work early, told the receptionist she had a dentist appointment. I was close enough to hear. She's heading toward Westbrook Heights. Toward home. Our home. Stay back, but keep visual. Copy that. The next photo shows Emily's car in our driveway. 4:03 p.m. She's going inside, probably to shower and change, to make herself perfect for Trevor. I imagine her in our bedroom, in our bathroom, getting ready for another man. Using the shower we renovated together last year. Standing at the vanity where her makeup is organized in those little acrylic containers I bought her for Christmas. My hands are shaking. I set the phone down and walk to the bathroom, splash cold water on my face. When I look up, the man in the mirror looks like me but harder, eyes colder, jaw set. Good. My phone buzzes. Another photo, timestamp 5:34 p.m. Emily's car backing out of the driveway. She's changed clothes. I can see through the windshield she's wearing something dark, Probably the black dress she bought 2 months ago and claimed was for a client dinner. Following, Raymond's text says, heading downtown. The next 20 minutes are torture. I pace the hotel room, phone in hand, waiting. Finally, the photo comes through. Emily's car in the covered parking garage at the Riverside Inn. 5:51 p.m. My wife just checked into a hotel 4 miles from our house to sleep with another man while I'm supposedly in Austin for work. The rage that floods through me is white hot, but I breathe through it. Not yet. I need everything documented. Get photos of her entering the building, I text Raymond, and watch for Blackwell. 3 photos arrive over the next 10 minutes. Emily walking from her car to the elevator, purse over her shoulder. Emily in the lobby, checking her phone. Emily at the elevator bank, pressing the button. She looks beautiful. That's the worst part. She looks radiant. At 6:07, Raymond sends, male subject arriving, white Audi, license plate matches Blackwell's registration. The photo shows Trevor getting out of his car. He's tall, fit, wearing jeans and a leather jacket, younger than me by maybe 5 years. He looks like the kind of guy who works out regularly and knows it. Another photo. Trevor entering the lobby. Then, both subjects entered elevator together. Embrace observed. I stare at that text for a long time. Embrace observed. Clinical language for my wife kissing another man in a hotel lobby. My phone rings. Raymond. They're in room 412, he says. I followed them up the stairs, stayed back. Watch them enter together. Do you want me to maintain position? How long can you stay? As long as you need. I brought supplies. Stay. Document when they leave, how long they're there, everything. Understood. For what it's worth, I'm sorry you're going through this. I don't respond to that. Just get me what I need. After hanging up, I sit on the edge of the hotel bed and stare at my phone. The evidence folder on my laptop has grown substantially. Photos, phone records, credit card statements, now surveillance documentation. David Brennan, my attorney, is going to have everything he needs. But something nags at me. Some detail I'm missing. I open my laptop and navigate to Emily's cloud storage again, the account I've had access to since we set up our shared digital life years ago. I've been through her photos, her documents, her emails. I start searching more carefully this time, looking for anything I might have missed. Her folder structure is organized. Too organized. Work files, personal files, photos sorted by year and event. Everything labeled and categorized. Then I see it. A folder I'd glanced at before but dismissed. Home projects. I open it. Inside are documents about our kitchen renovation from 2 years ago, paint color samples, furniture catalogs, normal stuff. But there's a file at the bottom, last modified 3 weeks ago. Backup, personal.docs. I click it. The document opens, and my blood runs cold. It's titled Plan B at the top. Below that, a numbered list. 1. If he finds out before I'm ready. Deny everything initially, claim messages were taken out of context or faked. Cry, appear devastated by accusation. Suggest marriage counseling immediately. 2. If denial fails, admit to emotional affair only, claim it never became physical, blame our growing apart, express remorse, beg for forgiveness, agree to any terms for reconciliation. 3. If he has proof of physical affair, admit to one mistake, claim Trevor pursued me, I was vulnerable, full transparency offer, phone, passwords, etc. Suggest trial separation where I can prove commitment. Do not admit to duration or frequency. 4. Financial protection. Transfer $15,000 from joint savings to personal account. Claim fraud if discovered. Document any of his controlling behaviors. Keep copies of all financial records. Password protect personal devices. 5. If divorce seems inevitable. File first if possible. Claim emotional abuse yacht controlling behavior. Maximum custody of assets. Encrypted text block. The last point is a solid block of seemingly random characters. Encrypted. She has a step-by-step plan for getting caught. She's been preparing for this. I read through it again, my hand steady now. The clinical nature of it is almost impressive. She's thought of everything, mapped out every contingency. This isn't just an affair, it's a calculated operation with a backup plan. And I'm sitting here with documentation she doesn't know exists. I screenshot the document and save it to my encrypted folder. Then I text David Brennan. Need to move our meeting up. Tomorrow morning if possible. I found something. His response comes within minutes. 9 a.m., my office. I look at the time. 6:43 p.m. Emily and Trevor have been in that hotel room for almost an hour. My phone buzzes. Raymond. Subject still inside, no movement. I close my laptop and lean back against the headboard. Tomorrow I meet with David. Tomorrow I show him everything, including Emily's detailed plan for manipulating me if I discovered her affair. But tonight, while she's with Trevor, I'm going to figure out what that encrypted text says. Because if Emily has a plan B, I need to know exactly what I'm up against. I'm sitting in my hotel room when my phone buzzes with a message from Raymond. Subject and male companion departed room 412 at 11:47 p.m. Kissing in hallway. Subject drove home alone. Male companion departed separately. Full report with photos uploading to secure portal now. I check my watch. 12:03 a.m. Emily's probably home by now, probably showering, probably washing him off before climbing into our bed. My laptop is already open. I navigate to the secure portal Raymond set up and download the encrypted file. The photos load one by one. Emily and Trevor in the hotel lobby, his hand on her lower back. Emily laughing at something he said, her head tilted back. Them entering the elevator together. A timestamp showing them entering room 412 at 6:09 p.m. Another timestamp showing them exiting at 11:47 p.m. 5 hours and 38 minutes. The final photo shows them in the hallway. His hands are cupping her face. She's on her tiptoes. The kiss looks tender, intimate. Nothing rushed or furtive about it. I close the laptop and pull up Emily's cloud storage again on my phone. The Plan B document is still there. I've read it 4 times now, and each reading makes my blood a little colder. But that encrypted section at the bottom keeps nagging at me. I'm good with numbers, not encryption, but I know someone who is. Tyler Brennan, no relation to David, the divorce attorney, works 2 floors down from me at Whitmore and Associates. We've grabbed lunch a few times. He mentioned once that he does penetration testing as a side gig, helped his sister recover encrypted files from her dead husband's computer. I check the time again. Too late to call now. I'll reach out tomorrow. My phone buzzes. A text from Emily. Made it home safe. House feels empty without you. Miss you already. I stare at the message for a long moment. The heart emoji, the casual intimacy, the complete and utter lie. I type back, miss you too. Long day of meetings tomorrow. Going to bed. Love you. The response comes 30 seconds later. Love you more. Sleep well. I set the phone down and lie back on the hotel bed, staring at the ceiling. The rational part of my brain is cataloging everything. The evidence is overwhelming. The PI documentation is professional grade. The credit card statements, phone records, and now the Plan B document paint a picture so clear that no judge would question it. But that encrypted section bothers me because Emily doesn't do anything without a reason. Every line item in that document serves a purpose. The staged denial tactics, the financial protection measures, the false abuse claims. What could be so sensitive that she needed to encrypt it? Friday morning, I'm in David Brennan's office at 9 a.m. sharp. He's younger than I expected, maybe 40, with sharp eyes and an expensive suit. His office overlooks the financial district, all glass and steel. I've reviewed the materials you sent over, he says, gesturing to his laptop. The PI documentation is solid. The phone records establish a clear pattern. The credit card statements show financial infidelity alongside the sexual infidelity. I nod. There's more. I pull up the Plan B document on my phone and hand it to him. He reads in silence. His expression doesn't change, but I see his jaw tighten slightly. This is... He pauses, choosing his words carefully. This is remarkably calculated. I've seen plenty of affairs, but I've never seen someone document their manipulation strategy quite like this. The last section is encrypted, I say. I'm working on accessing it. David looks up. Do you think it's relevant to the divorce proceedings? I think Emily doesn't encrypt things for fun. Whatever's in there, she considered it important enough to hide. He nods slowly. From a legal standpoint, you're in an excellent position. Colorado is an equitable distribution state, not community property, which means the court divides assets fairly, not necessarily equally. Given the evidence of her affair and this document showing premeditated financial manipulation, you'll likely receive a favorable settlement. I want everything documented, I say. Every lie, every manipulation attempt. When this goes to court, I want the judge to see exactly who she is. Understood, David makes a note. A few questions. Do you have children? No. Shared property beyond the house. Joint savings account, currently about $43,000. 2 cars, both titled jointly. The house has about $200,000 in equity. Other assets? My 401k, about $320,000. Hers is around $80,000. We have a joint investment account, roughly $90,000. David's typing as I talk. And her Plan B mentions transferring $15,000 from the joint savings? Yes, she hasn't done it yet. I've been monitoring the account. Good. Don't give her any indication you're aware of her intentions. Let her make the first move. He looks up. How do you want to handle the confrontation? I don't want to confront her yet. Raymond's surveillance continues through Saturday. I want the full 3 days documented. Smart. The more evidence, the better. David leans back. One thing to consider, if she's following this Plan B document, she's going to be prepared for certain scenarios. The staged denial, the emotional manipulation, even the abuse allegations. You need to be prepared for all of it. I am. Are you? His tone isn't challenging, just direct. Because when you serve her with papers, she's going to deploy every tactic in that document. She's going to cry. She's going to claim you were emotionally distant. She's going to paint herself as the victim. And if that doesn't work, she's going to escalate to the abuse claims. I understand. Make sure you do. False abuse allegations can derail even the strongest case if not handled properly. We'll need to establish a clear record of your character. Witnesses who can testify to your temperament, documentation of your relationship dynamic, anything that contradicts a narrative of abuse. I think about this. My parents, her parents, our friends, coworkers. Good. Start thinking about who would be willing to provide statements. We'll need them when she plays that card. We spend another 30 minutes going over strategy, filing timelines, asset protection, communication protocols. By the time I leave his office, I have a clear roadmap. I'm back in my hotel room by 11 a.m. I pull up Tyler's contact information and send him a text. Hey, got a technical question. You free for lunch? His response comes 5 minutes later. Sure. Panera on 5th at noon? See you there. At 12:15 p.m., I'm sitting across from Tyler in a corner booth. He's mid-30s, perpetually looks like he just rolled out of bed, but I know for a fact he makes twice what I do with his consulting work. So, what's the technical question? He asks, biting into his sandwich. I pull up the encrypted section of Emily's document on my phone. I need to decrypt this. It's a personal matter. I can pay your consulting rate. Tyler glances at the screen. What kind of encryption are we talking about? I don't know. It's a text block in a cloud document. She used some kind of password protection. He takes my phone and examines it more closely. This looks like standard AES encryption, probably 256-bit. The cloud service offers it as a feature for sensitive sections. He looks up. Do you have any idea what the password might be? No. Okay, brute force is basically impossible with AES 256. We'd need to try a different approach. Social engineering, basically. What kind of passwords does this person typically use? I think about Emily's various accounts. Her laptop password is our wedding date. Her phone PIN is her birthday. Her email password is… I pause, remembering when she asked me to check something in her email once. Her mother's maiden name plus her birth year. Tyler nods. So she uses personal information. That's good. We can build a dictionary attack using relevant dates, names, places. I'll need you to give me everything you know. Family names, important dates, addresses, pet names, anything she might use. How long will this take? If we're lucky and she used something in the personal information sphere, could be a few hours. If she used something random, could be never. He hands my phone back. Send me the file and a list of everything you can think of. I'll run it through my tools. Thanks, Tyler. No problem. He pauses. Everything okay? You seem… I'm fine. Just need to access something important. He doesn't push. That's one thing I like about Tyler. He understands boundaries. Back in my hotel room, I compile a list for Tyler. Emily's birthday, her parents' names, her childhood address, our wedding date, the name of her first dog, her college sorority, every password I've ever seen her use, places we've traveled, inside jokes, everything. I send it all to Tyler at 2:47 p.m. His response, on it, I'll let you know. My phone buzzes with another message from Raymond. Subject left workplace at 2:15 p.m., currently at Whole Foods on Riverside. Appears to be grocery shopping. I almost laugh. She's grocery shopping, buying food for our house. Probably planning to cook dinner tonight. Something nice because her husband is out of town and she needs to maintain the illusion of domestic normalcy. Another message from Raymond. Subject departed Whole Foods at 3:02 p.m. heading home. Then, at 3:34 p.m., subject at residence, no other activity. I imagine her putting away groceries. Maybe she'll do some laundry. Maybe she'll watch TV. Maybe she'll text Trevor about last night. My phone buzzes again, but this time it's Tyler. Got it. I call him immediately. What was the password? Plan B, he says. Literally. Capital P, capital B. I almost didn't try it because it seemed too obvious, but I ran it through the dictionary attack and it popped. The irony isn't lost on me. She encrypted her Plan B with the password Plan B. I'm sending you the decrypted text now, Tyler says. My phone pings with a message. I open the attachment. The encrypted section reads, if divorce becomes inevitable and all other strategies fail, contact attorney Patricia Grayson, number saved in secure notes. She specializes in high-asset divorces and has successfully argued emotional abuse cases. Provide her with the journal entries, stored in separate encrypted file, Personal Reflections. These document a pattern of emotional distance, financial control, and psychological manipulation. Dates and details are specific enough to be credible. If necessary, mention the incident from February 2019. Embellish as needed. Grayson will know how to position it. Goal is minimum 60% asset split, possibly more with abuse narrative. Do not deviate from established timeline and journal entries. Consistency is critical. I read it 3 times. She's created a fake journal. Backdated entries documenting abuse that never happened. An entire false history waiting to be weaponized. February 2019. I try to remember what happened then. We were in couples therapy briefly. Emily said she felt disconnected. We worked through it. Or I thought we did. Now I realize she was building a narrative, creating evidence, establishing a pattern she could point to later. My hands are steady as I forward the decrypted text to David Brennan with a single message. Found the encrypted section. We need to talk. I'm sitting in my car outside the house at 6:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, watching Emily through the kitchen window. She's making dinner, pasta from the looks of it, moving around our kitchen like everything is normal. Like she hasn't spent the last 3 months sleeping with Trevor Blackwell. Like she doesn't have a detailed contingency plan for destroying my life if I discover the truth. The truth I've known for 6 days now. My phone buzzes. Raymond. Subject departed office 6:15 p.m. Direct route home. No stops. No contact with TB today per phone monitoring. I pocket the phone and check my watch. Emily expects me home by 7. I've been working late the past few nights, or so she thinks. Really, I've been sitting in David Brennan's office going through every page of the evidence, building an airtight case. Tomorrow morning, Emily gets served. David's process server will hand her the papers at 9:30 a.m. in the Riverside Marketing parking lot. Public enough to have witnesses, professional enough to avoid a scene. By the time she reads the first page, our joint accounts will be frozen. The house will be legally secured, and every piece of evidence, the surveillance photos, the phone records, the decrypted Plan B document, will be filed with the court. But tonight, I have to sit across from her at dinner. I have to pretend I don't know. I grab my laptop bag and head inside. Hey, babe. Emily turns from the stove as I walk in, smiling. She's wearing yoga pants and one of my old college t-shirts. Her hair is pulled back in a ponytail. She looks exactly like the woman I married. How was work? Long. I set my bag down by the door. Johnson's still writing me about the Kemper account. That man needs to retire. She stirs the pasta, then moves to the counter where she's already poured me a glass of wine. Red. My favorite. Dinner's almost ready. Want to set the table? I take the wine and head to the cabinet. This is the part that's been hardest, the casual domesticity. The way she touches my arm when she passes. The way she asks about my day and actually listens to my answer. Or pretends to listen. I'm not sure I can tell the difference anymore. Oh, I meant to tell you, Emily says as I'm placing the forks. Jenna's last day is Friday. My hand freezes for half a second. Yeah? Yeah, she's moving to Portland. Got some job offer up there. Emily drains the pasta, steam rising around her face. Honestly, good riddance. She's been weird lately. I set down the last fork carefully. Weird how? Just distant. Cold. Emily brings the pasta to the table, then returns for the salad. We used to be close, but the last few months she's barely said 2 words to me. I think she's jealous, honestly. Her marriage is falling apart and she sees us so happy. The audacity of it almost makes me laugh. Emily sits down across from me, serving herself salad, completely at ease. She's rewriting history in real time, turning Jenna, the woman who exposed her, into a jealous, bitter coworker. Setting up the narrative, planting seeds. I wonder if this is in the Plan B document. Discredit potential witnesses. Make them seem unstable, envious, untrustworthy. That's too bad, I say. About her marriage. Yeah. Emily twirls pasta around her fork. Some people just aren't meant to make it work, you know? We eat in silence for a moment. The pasta is good. Emily's always been a decent cook. I watch her across the table, trying to see the calculation behind her eyes, Is she thinking about Trevor right now? About the $15,000 she plans to transfer? About the fake journal entries waiting in her encrypted files? I was thinking, Emily says suddenly, maybe we should plan a trip, just the two of us. It's been a while since we did anything spontaneous. Where were you thinking? I don't know. Somewhere warm? We could do a long weekend in Mexico, or maybe the Caribbean. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. Her fingers are warm, familiar. I feel like we've both been so busy lately. It would be nice to reconnect. I look at our joined hands. 2 weeks ago, this gesture would have meant something. Now I know she's following a script. Step 7 in the Plan B document. Increase physical affection and quality time. Make him doubt his suspicions through renewed intimacy. That sounds nice, I say. Let me check my schedule. Emily smiles and squeezes my hand before letting go. No rush, just something to think about. After dinner, we move to the living room. Emily curls up next to me on the couch while we watch some crime drama she likes. Her head rests on my shoulder. Her hand traces absent patterns on my chest. This is the Emily I fell in love with, or the performance of her at least. I'm not sure there's a difference anymore. My phone is face down on the coffee table. I've been checking it obsessively, watching for any communication between Emily and Trevor. Raymond set up monitoring software that alerts me to any calls or texts between their numbers. So far today, nothing. Trevor sent 3 texts yesterday, all mundane, all using their code words. Coffee meeting means sex. Conference call means they need to talk. Lunch plans means he wants to see her. Yesterday he texted, "Miss our coffee meetings. When's your schedule clear?" Emily responded, "Soon. Work's been crazy." She's being careful, pulling back. Maybe she senses something, some shift in the air, or maybe this is normal for them. Periods of intense contact followed by deliberate distance. Managing the affair like a project with strategic planning and risk mitigation. The same skills that make her good at her job. You okay? Emily's voice pulls me back. She's looking up at me, concerned. You seem distracted. Just tired. I run my hand through her hair, the gesture automatic. Long week. It's only Tuesday, she laughs softly. But I know what you mean. I'm exhausted too. I wonder what's exhausting her. The affair? The planning? The constant performance of being a faithful wife? Maintaining 2 separate lives must take energy. No wonder she's been going to bed early lately, claiming headaches and stress. Want to call it an early night? I ask. Yeah? She sits up, stretching. I've got an early meeting tomorrow anyway. We go through our nighttime routine. Emily in the bathroom first, then me. She's already in bed when I come out, scrolling through her phone. The phone I've had cloned for 6 days now. Every text, every call, every app interaction. I see it all, in real time, on a tablet locked in my office desk. I slide into bed beside her. She puts her phone on the nightstand, face down, always face down, and turns to me. Love you, she says, kissing me softly. Love you too. She settles against me, her breathing evening out within minutes. I lie awake in the dark, feeling the weight of her against my side, counting down the hours until tomorrow morning. 16 hours until she's served. 16 hours until everything changes. My phone vibrates silently on my nightstand. I reach for it carefully, not wanting to disturb Emily. A text from David Brennan. Process server confirmed for 9:30 a.m. Court filing scheduled for 10 a.m. Everything's ready. I type back, acknowledged. Then another text, this one from Tyler. Finished full analysis of encrypted files. Found something else. Call me when you can talk privately. My stomach tightens. I slip out of bed slowly, grabbing my phone. Emily doesn't stir. In the hallway, I close the bedroom door silently behind me and head downstairs to my office. "What did you find?" I ask when Tyler picks up. "The personal reflections file. The fake journal entries." His voice is quiet, serious. "I went through the metadata. She's been working on this for 7 months. 7 months. 3 months before the affair with Trevor even started, according to the phone records." "What does that mean?" "It means this wasn't Plan B." Tyler pauses. "This was always the plan. The affair, the documentation, the exit strategy. She's been building toward this for more than half a year. Trevor might not even be the first." I sink into my office chair, the room spinning slightly. "You're saying she planned to leave me all along?" "I'm saying she planned to leave you and take everything. The abuse narrative, the journal entries, the financial maneuvering. This wasn't a backup plan for if you caught her. This was the end game. She was just waiting for the right moment." The right moment. When would that have been? After she'd transferred enough money? After she'd built enough documented evidence of abuse? After she'd lined up the attorney and rehearsed her story? "There's more," Tyler says. "The journal entries reference specific dates. I cross-checked them with your credit card statements and calendar. Every incident she documented corresponds to a night you can prove you weren't even home. Business trips, late nights at the office with documented security badge swipes, dinners with clients that have receipts. She's that sloppy? She didn't expect anyone to check. Or she didn't care. The family court system tends to believe abuse allegations first and ask questions later. By the time you could prove where you actually were on those dates, she'd have temporary custody of assets, restraining orders, the works." I'm gripping the phone so hard my hand aches. "Send me everything. Every file, every piece of metadata, every discrepancy." "Already done. Check your secure email." He pauses. "David needs to see this tonight. This changes the filing strategy." "I'll call him now." I hang up and sit in the dark of my office, staring at my computer screen. The house is silent around me. Upstairs, my wife, the woman who's been systematically planning my destruction for 7 months, sleeps peacefully in our bed. Tomorrow morning, she'll be served with divorce papers. But now I know the truth. I'm not ruining her plan. I'm just beating her to it. I wake up at 5:47 a.m., 13 minutes before my alarm. Emily's still asleep beside me, one hand tucked under her pillow, breathing soft and even. For a moment, just a moment, I let myself remember what it felt like when this was real. Then I get up. The coffee maker hisses and gurgles in the kitchen. I stand at the counter, watching the dark liquid drip into the pot, checking my phone. David sent a message at 5:30 a.m. Process server confirmed for 9:30. Court filing complete. Account freezes execute at 9 or size. I respond, understood. Raymond's final report came through overnight. 43 pages, photos, timestamps, witness statements from hotel staff. He even got a statement from the valet at the Riverside Inn who remembered Emily's car because she tipped him $50 for his discretion. The irony isn't lost on me. "You're up early." I turn. Emily's in the doorway wearing one of my old college shirts, hair messy from sleep. She looks young like this. Vulnerable. I know better now. "Couldn't sleep," I say. "Big presentation today." She pads over, wraps her arms around me from behind. I feel her cheek against my shoulder blade. "You'll do great. You always do." The performance is flawless. 3 months ago, I would have melted into this moment. Now I'm just counting down. 2 hours and 43 minutes. "Want me to make breakfast?" she asks. "I'll grab something at the office." I turn, kiss her forehead. The gesture feels archaeological, like I'm excavating the remains of who I used to be. "You should sleep in. It's Saturday." "I might go to that yoga class, the one at 10. She's still holding me, looking up with those green eyes that I used to think were incapable of lying. Tyler's analysis proved she's never been to a yoga class in her life. The Saturday morning yoga session started 4 months ago. They correspond exactly with gaps in Trevor's location data, times when his phone was off or left at home. That sounds good, I say. Healthy. She smiles, kisses my jaw, and heads back to the bedroom. I pour my coffee and sit at the kitchen table, pulling up the email Tyler sent at 2:47 a.m. Subject line: "You need to see this." He found another encrypted folder. Deeper in the cloud architecture, hidden inside what looked like a corrupted backup file. The kind of thing you'd only find if you knew exactly what to look for. Tyler knew what to look for. The folder contains spreadsheets, financial projections. Emily's been tracking our assets for 7 months. Every account, every investment, the house value, my 401k, stock options that don't vest for another year. She's calculated her target take down to the dollar, 347,892s. Below that, a second spreadsheet. Actual expenses. A running tally of what she's spent preparing. The attorney consultation with Patricia Grayson, $500. A safety deposit box at a bank I've never heard of, $85 annually. Flash drives, a second laptop purchased with cash, a P.O. box. And then there's the third document. Tyler labeled it insurance policy in his email. I open it. It's a list of my colleagues. 15 names from Whitmore and Associates, complete with email addresses and phone numbers. Next to each name, Emily's written notes. Brian Kent. Mention the drinking at the Christmas party. Lisa Wu. Reference the inappropriate comment about her dress. Paul Anderson. His wife doesn't know about the Vegas trip. She's been building leverage, collecting ammunition, planning to burn my professional reputation to ash if I fought back too hard. The last entry makes my hands shake. Allison Reed, HR Director. Use the hostile work environment angle if needed. Mention the time he yelled during the Q3 review. Suggest pattern of anger issues. I never yelled during the Q3 review. I presented data. Allison was there. She'd remember. But that's not the point, is it? The point is the suggestion, the seed of doubt, the whisper campaign that follows a man after his wife accuses him of things that are just plausible enough. I forward everything to David. No message necessary. His response comes in 90 seconds. Holy hell. Adding to evidence file. This changes the counterclaim strategy. I'm finishing my coffee when Emily comes back out, dressed for yoga, in expensive athletic wear I've never seen before. Another credit card I don't know about, probably. Another layer of deception I haven't uncovered yet. You sure you don't want breakfast? She's at the fridge pulling out a green juice that costs $8 a bottle. I'm sure. She studies me for a moment. Something flickers in her expression. Suspicion, maybe, or just routine caution. You okay? You seem distracted. Just thinking about the presentation. The lie comes easily now. I've learned from the best. Well, don't stress too much. She comes over, runs her hand through my hair. It's just work. We have our whole lives ahead of us. The statement lands like a punch. Our whole lives. The future she's been systematically planning to detonate for 7 months while smiling across the breakfast table. Right, I say. Our whole lives. She leaves at 8:15. I watch from the window as she backs out of the driveway, her car disappearing around the corner toward a yoga studio she'll never reach. Raymond's already in position, ready to document wherever she actually goes. I don't need the documentation anymore. We have enough evidence to bury her twice over. But I want to know. I need the complete picture of who my wife really is. Was. My phone buzzes. Tyler. Found one more thing? Call me. I dial. He picks up on the first ring. You're not going to like this, he says without preamble. I haven't liked anything for the past 2 weeks. What is it? The journal entries, the backdated abuse documentation. He pauses. She didn't write them herself. I sit down slowly. What? The metadata shows they were created on her laptop, but the linguistic analysis doesn't match her other writing. Different sentence structure, different vocabulary patterns, even different punctuation habits. He's talking fast, excited by the technical puzzle even as he delivers devastating news. I ran it through authorship analysis software. Whoever wrote those entries has a graduate-level education, probably in psychology or social work. They used clinical terminology, phrases like escalating pattern of control and emotional dysregulation. Emily's emails and texts don't match that profile. Someone wrote them for her. Someone coached her, gave her a template maybe, or wrote them entirely and she just copied them over. Tyler's quiet for a moment. This was professional, man. Someone with experience in abuse cases helped her fabricate this. Patricia Grayson, the attorney specializing in abuse cases. Emily didn't just plan to hire her after the fact. She's been working with her for months. Can you prove it? I ask. The authorship analysis, is it something David can use? I can write a report. Whether a judge allows it as evidence depends on how the attorney presents it, but yeah, I can document the discrepancies. He hesitates. There's something else. The journal file was accessed remotely 3 days ago. Someone outside your home network viewed it. Grayson. Probably, reviewing the evidence, making sure it's solid before Emily deploys it. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. They really thought they had this locked down. I check the time. 8:47 a.m., 43 minutes. Send everything to David, I say. The authorship analysis, the remote access logs, all of it. Already done. He's going to file an amended complaint. This moves it from divorce into fraud territory, maybe even conspiracy. Tyler pauses. You doing okay? I'm fine. You're not fine. Nobody would be fine. I'm functional, I correct. That's all that matters right now. We hang up. I sit in the empty house listening to the silence. The coffee makers stopped gurgling. The refrigerator hums. Outside, a neighbor's dog barks twice and goes quiet. At 9 more a.m. exactly, my phone pings. Bank notification, account access modified per court order. The accounts are frozen. Every dollar we have together, locked down. Emily can't move the $15,000. Can't transfer anything. Can't empty the savings account she's been eyeing for 7 months. I imagine her trying to log in later today, seeing the restriction notice, the first flutter of panic in her chest. At 9:30, David sends a photo. Emily's car in the parking lot of an apartment complex. Not Trevor's building, a different one, across town. The process server's walking toward the entrance. My phone rings. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. It rings again immediately. Same number. On the third call, I answer. You bastard. Emily's voice is ice and fire, shaking with rage. You actually did it. You're actually doing this. Yes, I say simply. We can fix this. We can talk. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. The line goes silent for 3 seconds. Then Emily's voice comes back. Different now. Controlled. Calculated. I can almost hear her flipping through the mental pages of her Plan B document. I know this looks bad, she says, and there it is. Step 1, the staged denial. But those messages, whatever you think you saw, I'm not doing this, I interrupt. Save it for your attorney. My attorney? A bitter laugh. You froze our accounts. I can't even hire. You already have one, Patricia Grayson. You've been working with her for 7 months. The silence that follows tells me everything. I can picture her face, the mask slipping, calculations racing behind her eyes. How did you? She stops herself. You've been spying on me. Protecting myself, I correct. There's a difference. This is insane. You're being paranoid and controlling just like She catches herself again, but I know where that sentence was going. Just like the journal entries claim. Just like the narrative she's been building. The journal's fake, Emily. We both know it. The linguistic analysis proves it. The metadata proves it. Patricia Grayson wrote those entries, or at least coached you through them. I keep my voice level, factual. Every date you documented, I can prove I wasn't even there. Security badge logs, credit card receipts, witnesses. You son of a... Trevor Blackwell, I continue. 5 months, not 3. The Riverside Inn, 17 separate visits. I have photos, timestamps, witness statements from hotel staff. The valet remembers you because you tipped him $50 for his discretion. She's breathing hard now. I can hear it through the phone. The spreadsheet's tracking our assets, I go on. Your target take of $347,000. The leverage file on my coworkers, the encrypted backup plans. I pause. I found all of it, Emily. Every single piece. You had no right. I had every right. They're my files too. Our shared cloud storage, remember? The one we set up together when we got married? The irony isn't lost on me. You got sloppy, or maybe you just never thought I'd look. Another silence. When she speaks again, her voice has changed completely. Cold. Hard. The real Emily, maybe. The one I never actually knew. You think you've won, she says. You think having some photos and documents means anything. I'll tell them everything. The way you controlled our finances. The way you monitored my phone. This conversation right now, you're harassing me, threatening me. I'm on a recorded line, I say quietly. David's office protocol. Everything you just said is documented. I can hear her breathing stop. It's over, Emily. The manipulation, the lies, the plan to destroy me. It's all over. You're not getting the house. You're not getting 60% of our assets. You're not going to ruin my reputation or claim abuse that never happened. My voice stays steady. You're getting exactly what you deserve. Nothing. I'll fight this. You'll lose. And when you do, when every piece of your fabricated evidence gets exposed in court, when Patricia Grayson's involvement comes out, when the judge sees exactly what you tried to do, you won't just lose the divorce. You'll lose everything. I hang up. The phone rings again immediately. I silence it. It rings 4 more times over the next 10 minutes, then stops. A text comes through. Please. We need to talk. I made mistakes, but we can fix this. I delete it without responding. The divorce takes 4 months to finalize. Emily tries everything in her Plan B document and then some. The tears in the first mediation session. The claims of emotional abuse that fall apart under basic scrutiny. The attempt to paint me as controlling, which backfires spectacularly when her own encrypted files prove she was the one manipulating and scheming. Patricia Grayson withdraws from the case in week 3, citing irreconcilable differences with her client. Translation: she knows the journal entries are about to be exposed as fraudulent, and she doesn't want the Bar Association investigating her involvement. Emily's second attorney is less skilled and far less prepared. David systematically dismantles every argument, every claim, every attempted manipulation. The surveillance photos get entered into evidence. The phone records, the credit card statements, the decrypted Plan B document, and then the journal entries, with Tyler's authorship analysis showing they couldn't have been written by Emily alone. The judge is a woman in her 60s named Barbara Rogers. I know, the irony of the name isn't lost on me, but that's what it was. Who's presided over family court for 23 years. She reads through the evidence with an expression that grows colder by the page. When Emily's attorney tries to argue that I violated her privacy by accessing shared cloud storage, Judge Rogers cuts him off. Counselor, your client created a detailed plan to fabricate abuse allegations, hide marital assets, and destroy her husband's professional reputation. The court is not sympathetic to privacy arguments from someone who weaponized intimate knowledge of her spouse. The final settlement gives me the house, 70% of our liquid assets, and my entire 401k untouched. Emily gets her own 401k, her car, and 30% of the savings, minus the costs of my attorney fees and the private investigator, which the judge orders her to pay. She also gets a formal reprimand on the court record for attempting to file false abuse allegations. It's not a criminal charge, but it's there, permanent, for any future court to see. On the day the divorce finalizes, I'm sitting in David's office when the notification comes through. He prints out the decree and slides it across his desk. "Congratulations," he says. "You're a free man." I look at the document. Dissolution of marriage, final and absolute. "How do you feel?" David asks. "Tired," I say honestly. "Relieved. Angry, still. Probably will be for a while." "That's normal." He leans back in his chair. "For what it's worth, in 15 years of practice, I've never seen anyone as thoroughly prepared as you were. Most people come in emotional, reactive. You came in with a strategy." "I learned from my wife," I say. "She taught me that planning matters, that documentation matters, that you can't trust people just because you love them." David's quiet for a moment. "That's a hard lesson." "Yeah?" I take the decree and stand up. We shake hands. I walk out of his office into a cold February afternoon, the same month Emily had fabricated one of her journal entries about my supposed abuse. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. "I hope you're happy. You destroyed everything we built." I stare at it for a long moment. Then I type back, "You destroyed it. I just documented the wreckage." I block the number and keep walking. 6 months later, I'm sitting on the deck of my house now, legally and completely, watching the sun set over the mountains. The place feels different without Emily's things, without her presence. Bigger, somehow. Quieter. Better. I sold her car and bought myself a new truck. Renovated the master bathroom, tearing out the fixtures she'd picked and replacing them with something that feels like mine. Small changes, but they matter. Tyler comes by sometimes. We grab dinner, talk about work, carefully avoid the topic of relationships. He's dating someone new, seems happy. I'm not there yet. Maybe I won't be for a while. Raymond sent me a final invoice last month with a note. "Hope you're doing well. You deserved better than what she did." I paid it and added a bonus. His work saved my life in a way. At least the life I'd built, the assets I'd earned. I haven't seen Emily since the final court date. I heard through mutual friends that she moved to Denver, took a job with a different marketing firm. Trevor's no longer in the picture. Apparently, he wasn't interested in a relationship with someone whose marriage imploded publicly and spectacularly. Some of our friends took her side at first, believed her version of events, the one where I was controlling and paranoid. But the court records are public, and the truth has a way of coming out. Most of them have quietly stopped reaching out to her. I don't take satisfaction in that. I don't take satisfaction in any of it, really. Winning the divorce didn't feel like winning. It felt like surviving. My parents asked me once if I regretted marrying her at all, if I wished I could go back and avoid the whole thing. I thought about it carefully before answering. "No," I said. "I regret that she wasn't who I thought she was. But I don't regret learning the truth. Because here's what I learned. Love without trust is just a performance. Marriage without honesty is just a contract waiting to be broken. And the person you think you know best might be the person you don't know at all." Emily taught me to verify everything, to trust nothing at face value, to protect myself first. She probably didn't mean to teach me those lessons, but they're the ones that stuck. I'm dating again now, slowly, carefully. A woman named Rachel I met through work. She's in accounting at a client firm. We've been out 4 times. She's kind, straightforward, maybe a little boring compared to the drama of my marriage. Boring sounds perfect right now, On our third date, she asked me about my divorce. I gave her the basics. Infidelity. It ended badly. I'd rather not go into details. That must have been hard, she said. It was educational, I replied. She laughed, thinking I was joking. I wasn't, not really. The truth is, Emily's betrayal taught me something valuable, that I'm stronger than I thought, that I can face the worst kind of deception and come through it intact. That documentation and preparation and cold, hard evidence matter more than emotions when everything falls apart. I don't recommend learning those lessons the way I did, but I'm grateful I learned them before she could execute her full plan, before the false abuse allegation stuck, before she walked away with everything I'd worked for while destroying my reputation. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if Jenna hadn't sent that screenshot. If I'd gone to Austin for real, come home to find Emily and Trevor together, confronted them in the moment without any preparation, I'd have lost everything. Emily's plan B would have worked. I'd be the one starting over in a new city, broken, with a court record suggesting I was abusive. Instead, I'm here, in my house, with my assets, with my reputation intact and my future unwritten. The sun dips below the mountains, turning the sky orange and purple. My phone buzzes with a text from Rachel. Still on for dinner tomorrow? I smile and type back, absolutely, looking forward to it. Then I set the phone down and just sit for a while, listening to the quiet, feeling the weight of everything that happened and everything that didn't. I'm not the same person I was when I stood in that coffee shop line, reading those messages for the first time. That version of me believed in the inherent goodness of people he loved, believed that marriage meant partnership, that vows meant something, that the woman he'd spent 11 years with wouldn't systematically plan his destruction. That version of me is gone. The man sitting here now is harder, warier, less willing to take anything on faith. Some people might call that cynical. I call it educated. Because the real lesson isn't that people can't be trusted, it's that trust has to be earned continuously through actions that match words. It's that love doesn't conquer all. Sometimes it just blinds you to what's really happening. It's that the person sharing your bed might be planning your downfall, and you'll never know until you look beneath the surface. Emily gambled that I wouldn't look, that I'd stay the trusting husband, the devoted partner, the man who believed her when she said she loved me. She gambled wrong, and in the end, that made all the difference. The stars are coming out now, pinpricks of light in the darkening sky. I finish my drink and head inside, locking the door behind me. My door, my house, my life. Tomorrow I'll wake up and go to work. I'll have dinner with Rachel. I'll keep building something new from the wreckage of what I thought I had. But tonight, I'm just grateful. Grateful that I found out the truth. Grateful that I documented everything. Grateful that I won. Not because winning feels good. It doesn't, not really. But because losing would have destroyed me. And I refuse to be destroyed by someone else's lies.